Big week in job data. We're going to find out if the Fed is heading down the road to cutting rates, or are they going to pause longer than expected? And that's all next. Yes, I'm going to go over those stories as well as what happened this year with inventory. We're going to go over the last 3 years of inventory. Have we seen this big jump that some media outlets have talked about, or are we just smoke and mirrors, and we have no inventory out there? That's all next on Real Estate Daily. Welcome, everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, housing, and the mortgage market. Now, before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that like button. Boom, boom. It will help out the channel, and I'm going to give you the best 5 minutes in real estate on a daily basis. So guys, every single Monday we start off with X and the Kobesi letter. So it goes over the key events of the week. So we're looking at tomorrow. It's going to be non-manufacturing PMI, and it's going to be JOLTS job data. But more importantly, look at Wednesday and Thursday. We have ADP non-farm payroll and initial jobs claim. Friday, consumer sentiment data, which will not continue to show poorly. We know that. And then November jobs report. We know that the jobs that keep coming out, the majority people that are being hired or who are hiring is the U.S. government. The government that is so in debt right now, it's ridiculous. And their idea is to keep hiring and keep unemployment low. If we take their data out, we take out their jobs hiring, we're in the 5s, 6s, and 7s, and GDP is negative. And it's all because they want to keep hiring people for what? I like to know. Is it for roads? No. Is it to better our lives? I don't see it. I don't see any of this. Where's this money going towards? I don't get it. But they continue to be the largest provider of jobs in the United States. Though, as of in the last 6 or 7 days, we saw Spotify says they're laying off 17% of their workforce. We saw several banks close. I think 33 branches closed last week alone throughout the United States. No, it doesn't sound like a lot, but again, every week now we're having this number pop up in our faces, that these branches continue to close and people continue to be unemployed. There's several other big manufacturers out there that laid off. We're seeing actually California or nationwide manufacturing down 10-15%. It's at its lowest since April of 2022. And we started looking at it. That was when everyone started getting back to work. So as it continues to fall, we're going right back into the blue flu, bear flu, whatever you want to call it, that happened in 2020. All right, let's jump into Logan. This is from Housing Wire. He's the lead writer, Logan Matsushima, and this is what he says. Remember, in the future, when stress inventory happens in housing, it will be easy to spot as new listing data is at all-time low. The data line should explode higher, but it's trending at the lowest levels ever, 21, 22, and 23. Let's go take a look at this. This is a very interesting graph chart right here. We see that the middle of last year, and that's what happens. July is usually the time when everything kind of spikes, because that's when a lot of people are trying to say, hey, I got to move. I want to get into my new school district before I actually, before the school season starts. So that's why we see this big trend up at the beginning of the year. But then again, when are the lower times that real estate doesn't really sell? Well, it's right now. It's the fourth quarter, right? And usually it also is in January and sometimes in February. So basically from the middle of October-ish to the middle of February, that's when our low season. So if you look at this, that's what we're seeing here, right? This is all November, December, January numbers, November, December, January numbers, November, December. But look at this, man. This is crazy. I mean, we're going 19,000 new listings in a month. That was the beginning and end of 2022, 2023. Look where we're at, man. We are in October's, man. We are at the lowest, some of the lowest October ever. This is where we're at right now. We are heading straight down, guys. Okay, we're heading straight down. Boom, we're gonna splat right down here below 19,000 new listings nationwide. And again, we never even got close to where we were at, last year at 91,000 new listings in a month, the month of July. And in July over here, we're in the 75,000 range. We never even, pierced through 62 this year. So when people say, oh, we're in a housing crisis, well, the housing crisis, there's not enough homes. I don't care what new home builders do. New home builders, we haven't seen that they have a ton of properties on the sidelines. We just saw that prices went down. They typically only build homes when they know they can sell them. They just don't glutton themselves with inventory and then panic sell. They will at the end of the year, their fiscal year ends, so they want to get those sales out. And then obviously in January and February, in March, we're going to see, as rates hopefully continue to fall down, you'll see new home builders build again and their sentiment will change. But until then, they've already taken the month off. I mean, the last 45 days, how many new home builders you roll up to that are even working, right? Crews are skeleton crews. You just went through Thanksgiving. Now we're going through Christmas. Guys, if it rains, they don't work on rainy days. This is when the winter really hits. So with that being said, we're just not seeing it here, right? We're just seeing probably one of the lowest years of inventory on all time. That's exactly what kind of he has said. All right, let's jump in the rates. When we talked about last Friday, we saw something really good happen. We saw that the 10-year bond went down dramatically, and look at the rates just collapse. We are approaching where we went down 3 basis points on conventional to 7.07. Hey, we're seeing, hopefully we continue to see that trend. 15-year went down 18 basis points. 30-year jumbo went down 37 basis points. Man, what a drop. And then 30-year FHA went down another 6 basis points. We're at 8.4 or 6.84. Guys, these are huge. Now, you're saying, hey, Troy, that's great. That's what actually closed on Friday. What's happening today? Well, the bonds went up slightly today. So it was at 4.21, 4.22 on Friday. Now it's at 4.26, let's call it. So we're not really seeing a big change. Yes, is it a change up? Well, yeah, we went up a little bit, but it's not. We have to see as the week progresses whether we're going to see the bond market go up. I know a lot of people were digesting a lot of what Powell said last Friday. And so I think that initially what he said was nothing in the future showed that they were raising rates, but they were going to stay steady. And I think people reacted positively at that very beginning. But then on Sunday, we started seeing sentiment actually turn and a little bit negative. And with that being said, I think that's what's happened. The stock market took a day off today and really got pounded. And then we're looking at government bonds at 10-year yields. And we're going to see, we know that the Fed meeting is happening next week, but a lot's going to happen on these job reports this week to figure out what the direction of the Fed's going to be in the future. Some people, gamblers, are banking on that March meeting that they're going to lower rates. Others are saying it's going to be the June or May meeting. But we have to see a lot more, I think, destruction, and layoffs in our society than what we're looking at. So, well, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, right now is kind of the slower season for real estate. Just keep yourself informed, eye on the prize, and I will see you tomorrow.